Good day folks, Sean here from Air Photography. So in this video, I'm going to go over my top 5 most used accessories for the GoPro Hero 12 Black. Now most of the accessories that I'm going to be showing you in this video can be used across the board on multiple action cameras. It doesn't have to be specific to the GoPro Hero 12 Black. They can be used on older GoPros or the Osmo Action, mainly any camera that utilizes a finger mount system. So the first accessory that I use the most is the GoPro Boom Arm. I actually did a full review on this on my channel when it first was released, and it's quickly become one of my favorite accessories. I use it quite a bit. It's extremely lightweight, and it's actually very rigid. Now, when you do have it mounted on something like a mountain bike or something with a lot of movement, there is going to be a little bit of bouncing, but the stabilization clears that right up. The nice thing about this boom arm is that you can use it in this configuration here with both halves, or you can take that bolt out and use just one segment if you just need a little bit of extra length. It's a great accessory if you just need a little bit more length to widen a shot or get some interesting perspectives. So this is definitely one of my top 5 most used accessories. Now another accessory that I use on a regular basis is the GoPro Max Grip. This was originally released for the GoPro Fusion or GoPro Max, but it works great with GoPros or other action cameras. First of all, it can act as just a nice handle if you're doing some handheld filming. It also acts as an extension pole if you need to get some extra reach. But it also folds out into a tripod, so if you need to set your camera down and grab some shots, you're able to do so with one device. It's an oversized grip with a rubber coating, so it's easy to get a good grip on it even when wearing thick gloves. So definitely a great accessory if you're looking for a multi-purpose handle. Now another accessory that I use on a regular basis is this magnetic mount for the GoPro Hero 12 Black, and it will work on some older GoPros as well. What this does is it makes it compatible with the DJI magnetic mounting system. As you can see there, it'll clip right on. With it, you have a 1/4-20 in the bottom as well, so if you want to mount to a standard tripod mount. It also has fold-out finger mounts, so you can use it with traditional GoPro mounts. So it's a very multi-purpose mounting system. Now there are some drawbacks to it. You can use it with the media mod, you just have to do some finagling to kind of get it in there. This mount does stick out from the bottom a bit, which can make it a little bit difficult to get into the media mount, but it definitely can be done, and I've done it myself many times. However, the biggest issue with it, and this could be a no-go for some people, is when you're using the finger mounts and you have it mounted in a GoPro mount, although you can tighten it right up and the finger mounts are in there nice and tight, just due to the way it connects to the plate there on the inside, it doesn't really fit snug, so you get that rattling. Now in some scenarios that's not a big issue, but if you've got this on something with a lot of vibration or a lot of movements, those GoPro microphones are going to pick up all that rattling quite loudly. Now for some people that won't be an issue, especially if you're only going to be using it with the magnetic mounting system, because with that you don't get that. It fits in there nice, tight, and securely. So that is just a few things to keep in mind. But other than that, it's a great mount. I use it all the time. Now another common accessory that I use on a regular basis is the Telis neck mount. Now this is very handy because it basically gives you that point of view shot like wearing a chest mount. Now a chest mount in some scenarios is going to perform better just because it is tighter to your body, but this actually works quite well. I use it on my e-bike all the time, and even when there's rough terrain, you still get nice smooth shots. The nice thing about this neck mount, there's a button there at the back that releases it. So it's really easy to put on and off, even if you're wearing bulky clothing, so you're wearing a big thick winter jacket. Sometimes those chest mounts just don't fit over top correctly, but you can still wear something like this, even if you're a person who does some kayaking or canoeing and you're wearing a life jacket. Again, a chest mount doesn't really work in those scenarios, or it can be difficult anyways, but this can fit right over top of your life jacket, and you can still get some nice point of view shots when kayaking. It has a finger mount there at the bottom to connect your GoPro, but what I've done is I have this extension that I had kicking around, and I usually add it. And the reason I like using that is when I have my GoPro mounted, it allows me to see what I'm filming and can help me frame my shot better, but it really isn't necessary. It's just a few extension pieces that I had kicking around. So definitely a very useful accessory, and again in my top 5 most used. Now the 5th accessory that I use on a regular basis is the GoPro Handler. This is a floating hand grip, so it can keep your GoPro floating if you happen to drop it all in water. So if you're a person who's going to be filming in and around water quite a bit, something like this is a good investment. On top of that, it has a wrist strap, so you don't have to worry about accidentally dropping it. and it's got a foam cover here so it doesn't get slippery when it's wet. But even if you're just looking for a nice hand grip, if you're out doing some handheld filming and you just want a wrist strap, it works in those scenarios as well. If you're going to be on a roller coaster or something like that and you just want to have a nice secure grip that you don't have to worry about accidentally dropping, it's also a good choice. So definitely in my top 5 most used, and I recommend it if you're a new GoPro user looking to pick up a few accessories. It's probably one of the ones that you should always have in your kit. Now lastly, as a bonus item here, this is something I highly recommend for some people in some scenarios. Now this is the GoPro waterproof housing. However, I'm not a scuba diver, I'm never down that deep in water, but what I do use this for is when I'm mounting on my RC car quite a bit, if I know I'm going to be doing a lot of flipping and rolling, this can really protect your camera. Now this is the official GoPro brand one, and it's kind of pricey, but you can get generic ones on Amazon fairly cheap. Just make sure it's designed for the proper generation of GoPro you have. The Hero 5, 6, and 7 is different than the Hero 8, and again different from the Hero 9, 10, 11, and 12 Black. So if you're going to be mounting your GoPro on RC vehicles, skateboards, things like that where you could potentially do some damage to your camera, this will help keep the lenses and the screens protected. And even if you get this all cracked up because it's had a hard impact, it's a lot cheaper to replace this housing than to replace the camera. Well folks, that's basically it. Those are my top 5 most used accessories for my GoPro. Of course, there are many other useful accessories that I use, but these are the ones that I tend to use on a regular basis, and as a new user, ones that maybe perhaps you might want to consider as well. Well folks, hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. It's always greatly appreciated, and we'll see you in the next one.